All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Money Making Sunday. Costi, we can hear you now, finally. We have technical difficulties.
It was tough, man. I was giving out all these winners, and now it's, I couldn't get anybody to hear me.
What's happening now, my man? How you doing today?
Doing great. Money Making Sunday, my favorite day of the week. Morning football's already on right now. And it's just one of those days, man, where you're dialed in from start to finish.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So me, Alex, and Jovan already went through the first three. We talked about Commanders, Ravens. Well, actually, nobody talked about that one yet. Eagles, Browns, and Cardinals, Packers. No better game for you to start with than your Charm City boys. Huge rivalry going on up there in Maryland today. How you see that one playing out? Or the other three?
The ticket cost have skyrocketed because think about it. Somebody from Washington can come down and not have to spend the night, could get here in 40 minutes with traffic and be able to go to the game. Now that their team is good, everybody's all hyped up. Sorry to rain the parade here, but they're going to get blown out. I don't think this game is that difficult. There's a reason why we're a 6.5 point favorite at home versus a 4-1 team. I don't think Washington has played any type of defense like we are with the Ravens. And I'm not even a homer. I've bet against them all the time. I just think everybody always overshadows the previous week or even September football. September football is preseason football. Everybody plays against bartenders in August. Nobody cares if you even get reps in preseason. Now that you have the team that you've seen the last couple of weeks, really that's how it's going to develop into October, November, December when it gets colder. I just think the scheme that we have hurts running quarterbacks. It's something that without a prolific wide receiver, I don't see them being able to beat us in man coverage because that's what usually happens with Jamar Chase, Higgins, Devontae Adams. Those are the guys, CeeDee Lamb, that's destroyed us. I'm not worried about Scary Terry. I just think it's going to be a lot to see for Jaden Daniels. Look, if Jaden Daniels shows up today and he beats the Ravens or even covers, hats off to him. But I just don't think it's the day. I think the Washington defense is going to have Derrick Henry running all over him and Lamar being creative. We elevate as Ravens against these type of games. Now you put Carolina against us, we might lose outright at home. That's just the way it goes. So I love the Baltimore Ravens. I even like them at the extendo here. Get them up to 10 or 11, like I said on Friday's show. I don't think this is as hard as it is. There's a reason why the odds makers made it 6.5 versus a 4-1 team. Like, why?
Yeah,
they're that good. Why are they laying 6.5? I mean, we're 3-point favorites at home, but we're still 3.5 points better, basically on a neutral field. I don't buy it. I'm with the Ravens all the way. Do you want me to give picks on these other two real quick?
If you want to, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm all over Cleveland here at 9.5. I think Phillies, they did get Devontae Adams and A.J. Brown back, but I just don't. This Philly
Devontae
team.
Smith.
Sorry. Yeah, I keep saying Devontae. The Slim Reaper, Devontae Smith. I just don't think it's going to be enough. I think it's the Eagles win this game, but the Browns haven't played their best football. There's going to be a game where Deshaun Watson and Amari Cooper hook up.
Cash that.
What's that?
Caleb Williams, INT. Easy. Free break.
So I like Cleveland here with the points. I mean, anytime you get close to a double-digit spread in the NFL, I mean, Cleveland is way better than their record. There's going to be a point where they're going to show up. There's a couple games that they let a holding penalty, like against the Raiders, that lost the game. But I like the Eagle with the points here. And I heard you say you're on Arizona. I'm on the opposite side here. I like Green Bay. I think this is a typical letdown spot for Arizona after having that compelling second half rebound against the 49ers and win. This is usually a letdown spot. They go into Green Bay. Now there's last week was Jordan Love's first game. Now you're talking about more rhythm, a full practice week with those receivers because there was a lot of rust there last week. they still got the W, but you saw that in the first quarter into second quarter, they were real sluggish. So it's a tough place to play in Lambeau. I think they're going to get the job done. This is easily a 7-point win for them.
Fair enough. Alex, Jovan, anything to add on them other two, or are you ready to move on to the next slot? I know we kind of been a minute, so I
just looking at the Arizona Green Bay, just fast trends for people to put out in their heads here. Arizona has failed to cover 7 of the last 8 versus the NFC North. Something about those lines that seem to not favor Arizona, and Green Bay's cashed 8 of their last 9 versus the NFC West. And I couldn't agree with Kotze more. This Green Bay team, Love has this tendency of not playing above himself, but he's a guy that stands out. Maybe not so much on the stat sheets all the time, but he stands out. You watch any game that Green Bay plays, and this kid stands out. Not just because his name is Love, but I love the way he handles himself on the field, and the team plays really well around him. There's something that the chemistry of this Green Bay team is something special. That's what I just wanted to add.
Fair enough. Let's keep it rolling, fellas. We got the Texans and the Patriots. We have the Bucks and the Saints, and we have the Colts and the Titans to round out the 12 o'clock slate. Jovan, you're up first here, my man.
Yeah, I'm gonna back the Bucks in this one. I don't like that it's a hook attached to this 3, but it's gonna have to be done. With against the Saints team, who even with Derek Carr under center, they've had real struggles moving that ball up and down the field and getting into the end zone. Now, what do you expect, Hayner or the other bum from South Carolina to do? They're not going to move the ball against the Bucks. Especially with the Bucks, getting exposed defensively in Atlanta on the Thursday night. They got extra rest, extra time to prepare, and I think they get the job done in a big way in this spot. This was actually going to be a premium pick, but I just I had too many plays, so I had to take one out, and this was the one. So get a freemium.
There you go. Costi, what you liking these 3?
I still think I know Richardson's back. Indianapolis. It's a tough game. I mean, I think there's a reason why Tennessee's favored here. At home. Kind of still leaning. I know they're ass at home, but something tells me that why is Tennessee favored in this game? There's a reason for that. And I think they'll play good defense. I think the fact that Jonathan Taylor's out, I mean, Trey Sermon is a downgrade, but he's not that much of a downgrade. I still think that Tennessee plays good defense at home and they squeak this one out by a field goal late. Look, Indianapolis has been a covering machine this year, but I think Richardson's injury, I don't think he's fully healthy. The line makers see it that way. Don't really like this game at all. I truly think it's a coin flip game, kind of like Jacksonville, Indianapolis last week came down to a last field goal. So small lean for me on Tennessee. And then we have what? We have the
Texans, Patriots, and Bucks Saints.
Drake May making his first start. Making his first start. I'm going to go with the Patriots at home. I think if you could find a 7 out there, which is it's not around right now, but if you get closer to game time and you could find a 7 out there, I don't think this game being a blowout. New England plays good defense. Everybody's already trashing them because they've had such a bad performance in the last 4 games besides that first week against Cincy when they won. But Houston is not a team that blows anybody out. They get the job done. They have a good record, but they're 1-3 against the spread on the closing line and a push. So 1-3-1. I just don't see them blowing them out here. Another game that I don't really like today. Bless you. And I'll take New England and the touchdown at home. I see them either keeping it relatively close or a backdoor cover. Because, again, it's a different type of offense. Now, can they protect May? Probably not. They've had a lot of trouble with their offensive line. They've had 5 different groups for the first 5 games. But if they can protect him, he slings the ball. He's a different type of player than Brissett. I think they can get the backdoor cover here. And then in the last one, I mean, everybody thinks that, man, Spencer Rattler coming in, the Saints are going to be ass. Tampa Bay should roll them. That's why they're the favorite. But don't be shocked the Saints come in here and win the game outright. They play good defense at home. They have the playmakers. There's going to be, with Rattler, you're going to see a lot of underneath stuff with Wnba. And Tampa Bay gives up points on defense. I mean, they just do. And when you play these division games, they're always close. And in a division game, I'd rather have the points in my back pocket, especially with the 3 and a hook. So New Orleans for me.
Yeah, I'm on Houston. I mean, I know they're 1-3 against the number, but they're gonna bust out eventually. That's kind of how I'm feeling. When I look at the Patriots, I had them last week. They should have won that damn game. And I think a lot of people probably missed the boat on the Patriots. You know, earlier in the season they were a good bet. Now I think they're going to be exactly who we thought they are. One of the worst teams in the league. I love fading me rookie quarterbacks, especially their first start. You know, I think Houston is better than New England at every single position group on the field. Every single one of them. Every single one. Quarterback, wide receiver core, running back, offensive line, defensive back, middle linebacker, head coach. Like, I give Houston the edge everywhere. Man for man, player for player, roster for roster. Houston is the better team. And I think this is one they finally get a cover with it. I didn't love it at 7, but now under the touchdown, I think they win this game. Like, we'll be surprised if this is a 24-10 like type style game. I just don't think the Patriots do much of anything offensively, and I trust the Houston Texans. I think they can. If the Dolphins with Huntley put up 15 last week, I think CJ Stroud and them get their shit together and put some offense on the board today. Give me Houston. I am also going that Tampa Bay, New Orleans game is tough. I would lean towards New Orleans. I'm a Tampa guy. I like Tampa. I think Tampa's the best team in the division. I think Tampa's going to win the division again. I really don't want to fade Tampa after the hurricane. I'm just being real. Don't want to fade them with that, you know. But with the Saints now lost 3 games in a row, staring down, losing 4 in a row at home. Like, this is a line in the sand style game. This is, if they lose this game, Dennis Allen may be getting fired style game. Like, all the chips on the table for the Saints, division style game. We know how these NFC South games play out. They all come down to the wire. This game's going to come down probably just how the game did on Thursday against Atlanta. And maybe Tampa's just on the right side of this one. So getting the hook with the home team is where I want to be. I know it's a rookie quarterback. I usually want to fade them.
You fade them game 1, or you fade them once there's tape on them game 2? Because game 1, there's not a lot. There's no tape on him.
But they're usually terrible game 1. They're just not good. Like, Caleb fake covered game 1, but I think, did Jaden Daniels cover game 1 this season? I forgot. Who else is a rookie? Who else played this season? There's one more, I feel like. Bo Nix didn't cover his first game this season. I don't know. The game speeds up for these guys, so I just feel like it's a good spot to fade them. But I'm taking Rattler here because the hook is on that 3. That's really the reason I'm taking the Saints. The hook is on that 3 in an NFC South game. That their games always seem to come down to a late walk-off field goal. So I don't love it. It didn't make my premium, just being real, but I would lean towards New Orleans. And the last game in this slot, Colts-Titans. me just be real. It's a pass. It's the pass. I'm good. I'm good on that. Jovan.
We're gonna look at this. Where we are? We on the Pats
Yep.
in Houston Texans game. Yeah. No, it's raining up here. No, I think that's gonna affect things. How the game's gonna be played, and with Drake May on in the center, it changes up things. I think that there's gonna be more offense, for the Pats. To be honest. With that said, this total being where it's at, I think it can be had. I think it can go over the total. So it might be a close one. One of these teams might get separation. I would like it if one of these teams gets separation. That means that the other team's chasing points. So with that said, man, I like this one getting over the total. What's that? 37 and a half, 38, somewhere around there.
The
Yeah.
total
So
is
43.
yeah.
Oh, no. I'm wrong. It's 38. 38.
yeah. So 21 to
38 and a half,
17,
I see.
38 and a half.
Yeah.
Well, well, 21 to 17 doesn't get you there in that scenario, but 21 to 20, 27 to 17, that gets you there. But like I said, Jacoby Brissett, he was a miserable experience with the Patriots. So I think that May's going to be able to better protect himself with against the pass rush because he's not going to be a statue in the backfield. He's going to actually move around a little bit and take off. He's definitely going to take off. That's for damn sure. So with that said, I think that this one's going to be one of those games that sneakily goes over the total.
There you go. There you go. So that's it for 12 o'clock. Anything in 12 o'clock? Anybody else want to cover before we move on?
Yeah, just that Tampa Bay game.
Oh wait, Alex, yeah, you're up.
Yeah, no, it's all right. It's all right. It's all good. I'm enjoying listening to everybody else. It's all good. Good info. But Tampa Bay. This is the thing. This is the way I look at this game. Number one is okay. So we've got a backup QB, rookie QB, going in here for New Orleans. Okay, we know this is a division game, but on the same spectrum here, we've got Mayfield. Okay, so we've got a defense that's probably going to be on the field a great deal of day. New Orleans does have a great defense, but you're going to tire as the game goes on. Mayfield's not. I mean, we all like to kick on Mayfield, but Mayfield can put points up on the board. I mean, when he's seeing the field, he's seeing the field. It's interesting to note too that Tampa Bay's gone over 7 of the last 8 times after putting 35 plus points on the board. So their offense or their defense, I haven't looked at the numbers completely here, go to hell. So let's just put it this way. Mayfield's going to get his points today. That's what I'm looking at. I think the defense is going to be on the field just too long. What we're going to have is a situation that New Orleans is going to be chasing to some extent today. As long as, this plays out the way the probabilities say they'll play out. Okay, so Mayfield dominates. The New Orleans quarterback does not do the work needed. The New Orleans defense is on the field a lot today. What does this spell to me? This spells an over. This spells it over, and a late surge maybe from New Orleans trying to put points on the board. So this is an over for me.
There you go. All right, let's go to 3 o'clock. Let's go to 3 o'clock where we have the Chargers taking on the Broncos. We got the Steelers taking on the Raiders. And we got my Dallas Cowboys taking on the Detroit Lions. We'll do all 3 o'clock, and we got the Panthers and the Falcons, and then we'll do Sunday night by 7. All right. Who is it here? It is
It's me, right? I'm gonna go on the Pittsburgh Las Vegas game. It's another one of those typical spots where the public is going to be riding Pittsburgh. You have O'Connell now quarterback. I think it's an upgrade from Minshew. He had a really good run last year with them. I know no Devontae Adams, but they're still at home and they're again getting the touchdown. I just don't believe Pittsburgh is a good team. I think they have a good defense, but offensively, there's a lot of things you could pick apart there. Justin Fields is not the answer. He's not moving the ball. Max Crosby is going to be in his face the entire game. I like Vegas at home getting 3. I mean, these teams at home getting a touchdown. Getting a field goal. It's a big deal. And I just don't think Pittsburgh, I know they'll have a huge fan base there just because they travel really well and Vegas doesn't have a huge fan base in Vegas. So it's going to be a big time advantage for Pittsburgh in terms of crowd noise, like they usually do when they go to teams that don't have a good fan base. But I just don't think that's going to be enough. It's one of those games where the public's just all over Pittsburgh, and Vegas potentially could even win the game outright. I wouldn't be shocked. I think it's an upgrade with O'Connell. Then the Chargers-Denver game, I think the winning streak comes to an end here for Bo Nix. The Chargers finally have a healthy quarterback. Herbert's back. He wasn't really healthy last week. And I think it's going to be a game changer. I think they're going to be able to do what they want of run the ball efficiently. I think as good as Denver defense is, I think majority of their talent is in their secondary, and I think they're going to be able to run the ball, and Dobbins will have his way. And as long as Herbert doesn't make those mistakes, I think they could confuse Bo Nix and get the job done. Unfortunately, giving out the pick, I like it at 3. I don't love it at 3. I actually bet it at 2.
Shit, bro. I'm sorry. The Jags are shit. I'm sorry.
Who?
The Jags.
I told you this.
You did, bro. They're terrible.
Come on, man. They're terrible.
Terrible.
Terrible. Look, man, I only put in my top games in the circa millions, man. And
they're terrible, bro.
The Bears, they were only favored because they were in their second home. That's why. Why are the Jags favored over anybody on a neutral field?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm still on the Bears are a hot ass train too.
They're a hot ass winning team. It's just they're not good. There's a lot of miscommunication. Caleb Williams is mid at best, but they just win. So they're 3-2 for a reason. Somehow they figure it out.
I can't hate on Caleb. We're looking all right today.
Yeah, I mean, he's figuring it out. He's not complete trash. He's mids. That's what he is. He's mids. Okay. So, like I was saying, the Chargers, I don't love them at 3. I really love them. And, of course, I know everybody that's listening to the show, they can't get 2 when I bet them 6 days ago. I get it. Small lean again at 3. 3 is a push number. I don't love it, but still like the Chargers. And then in the last one, Jay, I'm with you here. This is a smash spot for Dallas. I think they're finally figuring things out. I don't think it matters, the injuries as much. Dallas plays Detroit close every time. And I like, again, another team at home getting a field goal. I like it. I think they're going to be able to get the Detroit secondary and defense overall outside of Hutchinson is susceptible to giving up a lot of points. You saw that against Seattle when they played before their bye. And I think Dallas and CeeDee Lamb have a day. It's not going to be the running attack on Dallas that's going to get it done, but I think Dak does enough to not only cover, but get the win outright.
For me, I'm going to start with taking the points with the Broncos. I'm starting to come around on the Broncos. Defensively, I'm really liking what I'm seeing. And this is a game where I just got to trust my eyes, trust the mantras and shit that I be saying. You listen to everybody else, they think Justin Herbert is the top 5 quarterback. I'm just waiting to see where has that where 0 playoff wins, like, you know what I mean? The whole thing.
He had the worst coach ever.
He did.
He had the worst coach in the history of coaches.
They had a lead in that game against the Jags in the playoffs. You know that, right? That wasn't all Staley. That was some Herbert.
Staley is responsible for 60% of the losses.
I don't know, man. I think that's what the general public believes. Nice. And I think Herbert is not as good as advertised. That's all I'm saying. I don't think the Chargers, a 2-2 team, warrant laying 3 on the road in Denver. I don't know. I think we've seen the Chargers struggle offensively now in back-to-back weeks against Pittsburgh, Kansas City, 2 decent defenses, but I'm here to tell you that this Broncos defense is probably better than them both. Probably better than them both.
But against Pittsburgh, they had no quarterback.
I know.
And that was a bad spot. West Coast team traveling East Coast. That was just a bad spot. And last week, they hung with the Chiefs.
They lost, though. Didn't cover. Or did they cover?
They covered.
It was 7.5.
Alex came on here and said, I like
it was 7.5. I think it was 7.5. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, we got it.
Because I did have a Chiefs last week. I did.
No, we covered.
Hey, man, I'm still on the fade the Chargers train. I think the Broncos are underrated right now. I'm kind of liking what I'm seeing from them. They're not asking Bo Nix to do too much. He's not wrecking the car. He's just doing what he did at Oregon, essentially, just playing well. And that's what I'm expecting from the Broncos today. Getting 3 with the home team. Maybe even, I don't even think this is crazy to say. It may be crazy to some, but Denver might be just the better football team. And the general thoughts just haven't caught up to it yet. But after today, I wouldn't be surprised if it has. Like, I'm like Denver, they've ripped off 3 straight. Tampa, New York, Las Vegas. Like, I'm liking what I'm seeing from these boys. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Give me Denver. Also give me the Panthers. Oh.
Brave man.
I know. Last week we cashed a dirty dog with the New York Giants, and my dirty dog this week is the Carolina Panthers. I know the Falcons coming to this game well rested. The Falcons coming to this game playing well. Hats off to him. Kirk Cousins is starting to return back to the Kirk Cousins who got paid. You know what I mean? He starts season off kind of rough, but he is a top tier quarterback in this league, one of the best just straight drop back passers. But just knowing the Falcons, bro, this is the game that they probably going to win on another walk-off. Like, it's just who the Falcons are. Like, just when you think the Falcons going to do something is when expectations usually catch up to them. Falcons are most definitely the better team. The Panthers are like 31 of 32 in my power rankings. They may even be 32. They're terrible. But getting 5.5 with the home team, even in an ugly game, like a 4, I think this is probably like a 3-4 point win for the Falcons at best. So another dirty dog, man. Sometimes the NFL just got to take some dirty dogs, and my dirty dog today is the Carolina Panthers. The moment y'all been waiting for, though, this ain't a dirty dog. This is just a plus money dog that we all need to be on. We're on the Dallas Cowboys, straight up on the money line, bro. Let's stop playing. Like, come on, bro. Let's be for real. I understand we're beat up. We're missing some of our key players, especially on the defensive end, and that's a problem going up against a great offensive team like the Lions. But this is a line in the sand style game for my Cowboys. The Cowboys are 3-2 this season. They're 3-0 on the road, 0-2 at home. That's crazy, especially considering that the Dallas Cowboys, when you look at the last 4 or 5 seasons, they're one of the best home teams in America, in the league. Like, we don't lose a lot of games in Dallas. I really liked our resolve last week on the road against a really good defense in Pittsburgh. And I just think this is a game where Dallas shows that they're still one of the best teams in the league. I honestly believe that. I think the Lions hype has finally caught up to them. I think they're overrated, overvalued. This is a game last season where, just remember, I don't think these two teams have changed very much from a season ago. I know Cowboys are banged up, but Dallas what was the line last year? Dallas -3. So you're telling me in a year's time that the line has now moved 7 points, 7.5 points? Like, that's overrated in my opinion. That's overvalued in my opinion. Nah, I think this is a Lions laying egg style game. I think a lot of people thinking they're getting revenge from last season, but I remind you,
4.5, Jay. 4.5. was 4.5 last year.
It was Dallas minus 4.5 last
Right.
year. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. So now it's Detroit 3.5 on the road. I'm not saying that, you know, what you guys say in the comments isn't true, but the gap is not that big. It's not a 7.5 point swing gap. It's not. I promise you it's not. Y'all continue to say y'all stock on my team. I'm gonna continue to buy it. And I know we're coming for a home win. Like, it's just what we do. So plus 150 with my team. Sign me up. Fade, all you Lions lovers. Alex.
You know, what I've learned over the years is you have to have a great deal of respect for the lines makers in Vegas. And, you know, you're looking at this game, Detroit-Dallas. And I'm not making a play here either way. I will tell you the games I am on. But, you know, just want to throw my 2 cents in on this. You know, from my perspective is, you know, Dallas is a brand, okay? Dallas is a team that's looked on, you know, it's America's team. So you're looking at this game, you know, from the perspective is, you know, Dallas is the better team. Dallas can come out and play. But, you know, what has Dallas done so far this year? Really, I mean, they're not showing us a top brand of football overall. Are they going to just turn things around here overnight? You know, the line is like it is for a reason, and we have to respect that line. Do we think there's value? I don't think there's value on anything here with Dallas under 3. You know, give me 3 or more, and I consider taking Dallas. This is just completely my opinion, obviously, and that's all I can give. You know, I don't want to piss on anybody's party, but that's the way I look at it. Respect the lines makers.
It's right now 3.5.
Yeah,
it's 3.5 right now.
Well, if you're going to get 3.5, then you know you got to take it just on the edge. On the edge. I mean, this isn't. You're just taking your advantage of long-term situations. And anybody who understands lines in the NFL understands the lines makers, understands how these lines are set. You know, you look at it this way. So you're getting 3.5 points with Dallas, the great Dallas Cowboys at home. And what do we have here? What do we have? We have a visiting team getting enough money for the books, the average price of most books to be at 3.5. That's 4.
Let me tell you why I think that's the case, though. The number one ATS, I'd say this, the number one ATS team the last 3 seasons is the Lions. The Lions are now starting to become stupid public. Like, people love betting the Lions because the Lions be cashing. I understand it. I truly understand why the Lions are the favorites here in this game and why people are putting their money on the Detroit Lions. But there's a flip side to that coin. You can't just run with that narrative. You have to look at the other side of the narrative. And the other side of that is right underneath the Detroit Lions in that same span at covering are the Dallas Cowboys. So 1 is the Detroit Lions. 2, the last 4 seasons, is the Dallas Cowboys when it comes to ATS. When you look at the Dallas Cowboys home record over that same time period, it's astronomical. They're the best home team in America. So, and we're banged up. That's the point where I think a lot of it is starting to come into play, and why a lot of the public and why the line is starting to get out of hand. We're banged up. We're missing our best player, quote unquote, in Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence. So people don't love that when teams are missing their top guys. So
absolutely,
we'll see. And we don't stop the run.
I agree 100%.
I understand why people like the Lions, but
yeah,
it ain't happening.
But is it you know? So what I'm going to say is, you know, never mind the splits that you see in some of these books. They're kind of tainted at some point. Okay. But I'm just saying, where's the smart money going right now? And you know, there are ways to watch that flow come in. And you know, I'd rather be with the smart money than I'd be with you know, anything else. But I'll tell you the truth. It's only smart money when you get a win out of, you know, when they win. Yeah, and you know, I don't care what anybody says. I can't. I'm old, and maybe I'm just stuck in my ways. Can't change off that concept. You know, with the home dog. You know, so I understand where you're coming from too. You know, that's a nice spread to bet into when you think about everything you're saying about Dallas. I mean, Dallas is
it's a spot and situation play for me. Right. The Lions have only played 1 road game thus far this season. Dallas has yet to win a home game. We know that shit's finna change. So it's just a perfect storm for it all to come together. A statement win. We'll see. We'll see if I'm right. We'll see if I'm wrong.
Well, we'll see. And you know, I'll be happy if you're right. I'm not a big Detroit fan, but it doesn't matter what I'm a fan of. Anyway, I'm looking at this other game too, of Pittsburgh and Las Vegas, and boy, is that an exciting game, huh? So, so last time out, Las Vegas gave up, how many points? It was over 30 points, whatever it was. It was an ugly, ugly showing, one that you didn't really expect from them. And, the last 4 times they've played Pittsburgh, they've all been low-scoring games, but Pittsburgh for a while now has been, a defensive-minded team. So you wouldn't not expect it to be low-scoring. I think the average is 38 points per game on average in those tilts. And Las Vegas has gone under 6 straight times after allowing 30-plus points. And here's a real interesting one. And I don't have the number parameters right here, but I just picked this up. 14 of the last 15 times as road favorites, Pittsburgh's going under the total. Okay, when they went as road favorites of 14 points or less. So it's this is so. In other words, forever they've been going under in these kind of situations. So I got to go under here. I know it's a low number, but I got to go under with the Pittsburgh Las Vegas game. Las Vegas has really got to pull their heads out of their ass and start playing some defense, which I think they're capable of doing. And I think they do it this week. And we all know what Pittsburgh would do. Looking at the one last game, we're doing still Chargers Denver now? No?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Man, throw that in the garbage. I can't even look at that. But I will tell you one thing. Denver has gone under 13 of their last 14 times off big wins. 14 points. 13 of their last 14 times off big wins. So they're going to come right back in here and they're going to smash and try to grab this one away in defensive style. And it's going to be a defensive minded game. Another low scoring game.
There you go.
Jay, we usually don't break these out till Monday.
Yeah, Monday. I know.
Listen, you break them out on Sundays. There's a reason for that.
Let's do it.
Get the big chains out. Let the big dogs eat.
I want to know one thing. Is Baltimore capable of a Super Bowl this year? From a neutral standpoint.
Listen, we have every year Lamar has elevated his game. He has not proven to win the AFC Championship, but there was the wild card, got past it. There was the divisional, got past it. Still lost every step of the way above it. AFC Championship, he lost. I think he's learning and developing. Can he do it? Honestly, I'm not biased. Time will tell. Do I think he's gotten better and he reads defenses much better? Yes. He's definitely developed into just like with experience, a better player. Do I think we could do it? Absolutely. But there's that one guy.
If they were in the NFC, yes, they could.
There's that one guy
in the AFC.
Doesn't matter who he has on that roster, for whatever reason, just wins. It's like Tom Brady's gone and Patrick Mahomes. It's like you just got to get lucky. That's what it comes down to. If you get to a playoff game against him, you have to just get luck because he's unbelievable. It doesn't matter. Look at the team this year. They're not a good team, and they win every game. Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes is no different than Bill and Brady. They're just a newer version of that. That's why they keep these guys on the roster. They can bring in these guys that are Xavier Worthy, Juju. It just doesn't matter. These guys just figure out a way to win, and that's it. It sucks to play against them, but you got to respect it.
Javon, what you like here in the 3 o'clock window?
I'm gonna roll with the Raiders in this one. Yeah, I know they got blown out in Denver, but they're at home facing the Pittsburgh team who just went through a war against, a war and a loss against the Dallas Cowboys. I don't like that scenario for the Steelers in this one. You have Justin Fields under center, and he's prone to to not make the right decisions. He's prone to mistakes or making mistakes. And when you're dealing with quarterback play, you need your quarterback to first and foremost not make mistakes. So I understand. Yeah, he's dynamic. He can run the ball, and all that. But at this point, they lose. They keep on losing. So sad for him. They're gonna have to put in Russell Wilson.
It might be the Russell Wilson show today.
Damn. If it is the Russell Wilson show today, then
I'm saying, like, I think Justin Fields
you
still a
talking about
starter,
mid-game?
but I'm saying mid-game, I wouldn't be surprised if it's the
Yeah.
Mr.
Well,
Russell Wilson.
you can't handicap that. So with that said, I'm going to raise the bounce back in this spot. Getting 3 at home. I could definitely see a scenario where this game falls less than 3, so the Steelers could actually win. But you know, let these teams not want to take points, easy points, and go for it on 4th and 7 or something like that. Then you got yourself a cover because the game's gonna fall within the 3 points. So there it is.
The key for me today is home dogs, man. Home dogs, home dogs, home dogs.
Woof, woof.
Home dogs. All right. Sunday night football, ladies and gentlemen. I'm up first here, and then also let me know what you got for sale today over at Pick Dogs Premium. Cincinnati laying the 3.5. Cincinnati's 1-4 on the season. Cincinnati has no room for error. Like, back up against the wall. I gotta take the Bengals here. I know the Giants have looked good in certain spots, though. They were my dirty dog of last weekend. Pulled the outright win up in Seattle. Can Cincinnati's defense get stops? And against this Giants team, I think so. I have no worries about the Cincinnati offense. Cincinnati's offense has been on fire all season, if you haven't paid attention. Oh, let me tell you this. I just put Jags money line in for the game right now. So if you with me, you with me. I took the Jags right now. I did. I took them straight up on the money line. Fuck Caleb Williams. Fuck the Bears. Let's go Jags. London Jags. Come on, bro. Let's do it. But y'all got any thoughts on the halftime before it goes away?
On the Jacksonville game?
Yeah.
I do. Actually, there's never been a rookie QB that's won a game in London. Starting QB that's won a game in London. It's 0-5. So if Williams can do it today, he'll be the first.
Well, the way he was acting after that last touchdown he threw, he thought he already won the game.
He better be careful. Yeah.
They're already driving in the red zone.
Who?
Bears.
They are? Damn.
Yeah. First down on the 24-yard line.
It could be the first time.
First and 10 on the Jags 24. Driving.
The Jags are
just hammer. Just hammer them. Just keep hammering them. Keep it going. Circa millions, I'm coming for you.
Jags legacy win on the horizon, bro.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in Jacksonville, wasn't there, in that circa? I think I saw there was a lot of bettors on Jacksonville in that one.
Yeah, I had Chicago. Well, no, you mean in the circa millions, the pick 5?
I think it was the circa. Yeah, I think.
I haven't even honestly. I didn't even see who the most picked team. So it's weird. 4 out of the 5 weeks, the top teams selected in the pick 5 were losers, and then 1 week the top 5 were actually winners. Right. So it's hard to tell because there's a lot of average players in there. It's not like there's a lot of pros. So
true with that.
I don't know. I don't look into it too much, but I like it when I'm on the other side and they win because I know I'm moving up the rankings.
That's right.
But yeah, Bengals for me, it's no reason to really overcomplicate it. The Giants, what is their Sunday night record as well? Like, in affinity? Like, they don't never do shit on Sunday night football. A lot of times they play on my team and they get their doors blown off. But I think the same thing probably holds true here. I think Burrow puts the league back on notice. I'm still one of the top 5 best quarterbacks in the league. And in my opinion, me personally, he's still number 2 in my book. Still number 2. Mahomes, Burrow, Lamar, Dak, Josh Allen. I don't care what y'all got to say. Alex.
That's an interesting game. Just looking at some of the numbers, the Bengals have lost 5 straight against the NFC East. Something about the NFC East lately that's not been sitting well with them. I just look at man, Brian Daboll is, I'm not a big fan of him, but I don't need to be a big fan. He's cashed 21 of his last 34 as an underdog. this team just seems to play at their best when I think the lines are scattered when the Giants play, especially when they play a top tier team. And you got to look at the line and you got to think to yourself, do I have any value just betting against Cincinnati here? That's the way I look at the Giants. And it's totally up to the bettor. But what do you think value? Where are you going to sit value? Are you going to go against the books and set value with the Giants? So I wouldn't bet Cincinnati for sure, though.
Fair enough. Jovan, talk to me.
Yeah, this one's kind of tough for me. But, well, there's no Malik Neighbors in this one, so I believe it was ruled out. Am I correct, Jay?
Yes,
Yeah, he's
sir,
out.
you are.
He's out.
Yeah, so they did look good against Seattle. I'm not gonna hold that against them or for them. Cincinnati, you already know about their struggles defensively. So I see a scenario where they could stay in this game. But the thing about it is, can their defense stand up against Cincinnati? And you gotta make a choice. Is this gonna be a 3-point game or is this gonna be a 4-point game? Because it's gonna be one or the other. And I don't think it's gonna be a 7. I think it's gonna be either 3 or 4. So you're gonna have to pick a side. And the side that I want to pick is, I think that the Giants might be up by 3 in late stages of the ball game, and Joe Burrow makes it happen, and they win by 4 points. I think that's how it's going down. So later points.
Costi.
This one's not too difficult. Take the Bengals here. I think the Giants had, again, another typical overreaction from them going into Seattle and beating Seattle. No neighbors. Eventually, Danny Dimes returns to form. And we know when we came into the year, he's ass. Don't think anything more of it. He's going to have his good games. He's going to have games where he does better. But at the end of the day, he is not a good quarterback. And without a running game, that's what you beat up Cincinnati with. What are they going to do in New York? They don't run the ball. I'm not worried about Tracy's running the ball. That's who you're worried about. Cincinnati finally has their full caliber of weapons on offense. I think they're going to expose the Giants secondary. And this is a must-win game for Cincinnati. They've been playing better. They were this close to beating Baltimore last week.
They should have won. They should have
close. This close.
They should have won.
Higgins and Chase, they're figuring it out. I just think that because if the Giants got blown out in Seattle, what do you think the spread is here?
6.5.
5, 6.5?
6.5.
6.5, right. Overreaction. I'll take the Bengals here. Don't even think twice about it.
The thing for me about the Bengals, the reason the line might not have been 6.5, but my personal line would have still been 6.5. I know the Bengals are 1-4, but you kind of have to have your own barometer on who these teams are. And for me, the Bengals, I don't take them seriously until week 3, week 4. I don't take them seriously until that point in the season anyway, because they've shown us that's who they've been. This is who they are right now. If you're a fan of the Bengals, they're in this exact same situation every single season. And this is the game they usually come out and blow the doors off of somebody. And then they go on the ATS covered run that they always go on. Like, this is not the first time they've been 1-3. I think it's the first time they've actually been 1-4, but they've been in this same 1-3, 1-4 situation for the last couple seasons, man. And this one, I think they get it together. Joe Burrow is 14 touchdowns, 2 INTs on the season. Like, offense has been clicking. Like Costi said, if the defense can get some stops, I think we'll be just fine. One of my favorite plays on the board, y'all already know. Daniel Jones INT. Cash it. Let's do
it. Touchdown. The Chicago Bears.
Get him off the screen, bro. He just killing my vibe. Money making Sunday, hey, Alex. What you got for sale today?
Don't hate, Jay. Don't hate.
I know. I'm hating.
I've got a best bet side on today. It's a very selective day. Didn't like the card at all, really. Honestly, from my perspective, anyway. Some people may have loved it, but so I've got one best bet side and one top tier NFL total. Very limited card today, but I've been doing a lot of work on the basketball season, so getting ready for that too. So, like I said, limited time. Maybe next week we'll be up with 6, 7 plays. You never know, but what I can take and what I like. So, anyway, like I said, limited card today. Johnny, get some long-term packages under your belts, and let's rock and roll. Basketball's just a little ways away, and Jay knows that. Jay loves basketball, and he's a good basketball handicapper too.
9 days, Alex. 9 days. 9 days. Countdown is here. Javon, Money Making Sunday. What you got going on today, my man?
I got a 5-pack going in the NFL 1 o'clock slate. Other iterations of packs, 3-packs. Well, I got 1 3-pack going in the late time slot. So got a lot going. I might put up a singular play as well. So check it out.
There you go. There you go. Costi, you got anything going on today? I know you do.
We're always looking for new members to be able to do the syndicate betting, which is mainly getting access. And I coach you every day with pre-betting, early betting, post-betting, halftimes, whatever we're doing, we're constantly feeding that to you in the platform through Telegram, text messaging. And if you're a smaller player, definitely take advantage of these super sharps on the show. They're all really, really good. So if you're a guy that has a limited bankroll of under 5,000, definitely take advantage of one of their programs. But if you're somebody that's looking for more than just the games, but that hand-holding and one-on-one coaching, definitely head on over to pickdogs.com. You'll see insider plays under premium picks, and my cell phone number is listed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hop on with Costi and Sharp Trading. For me today, I have what do I have? I think I have. Well, I had the Jags, but I have 3 or 4 more plays today. I didn't love the NFL card today, so I'm fairly limited today too. But my top play is still available. I love my top play today, and I promise y'all, it's not the Cowboys. It's not the Cowboys, so you ain't got to worry about it. It's not the Cowboys. But I absolutely love my top play today. I'll tell you, it's at 12 o'clock actually. So if you're gonna hop on, you got to hop on it now, or hop on something long term and get everything that I got. Though I got, like I said, a handful of NFL games today. And like Alex said, NBA be here, and not this week, but the week after, and we're here. Long season ahead too. So best time to hop on something long term as we get ready for that. I've been, doing some work in that as well. We've bet a few preseason games. I didn't bet anything yesterday in the preseason. I didn't bet anything today in the preseason either, at least not right now currently. I might put something in there in a second, but we'll see. Let's talk some Major League Baseball, fellas. We have the Mets and the Dodgers. They're going at it in the NLCS, man. Who gonna pull this out? Who gonna pull this out today, Alex? We got Dodgers minus 165 with Flaherty on the mound. Mets plus 140 with Kodai Senga.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna make a couple of predictions here, or bets, or whichever way. I've only pulled the trigger here on a futures ticket with the Mets a while back, so I'm rooting for the Mets all the way. I think they upset and they continue on this storied run and go right to the World Series. I got plus 160 on a series win. You know what? Let's go with the dog money in Game 1. Looking at some of this stuff as the playoffs have gone on. So what have we seen so far? So the talk now is 14-12, and after the underdog, the underdogs were 6-3 in the wild card round, and road teams were 14-13 overall, and the over and unders were 13-13. So there's been no huge edges that I can see so far on that in that perspective. But you know what we can look at here is number one is the Mets are it's you kick yourself if you don't take the Mets here at some point in the first two games. That's all I can say.
I agree. Jovan, talk to me.
Yeah. So this matchup, Chargers just went through a war, 5 games. Just based on that, and they performed. But just on the strength for that, I want to be on the other side. Real emotional high that they won. After Game 5, got to come back, quick turnaround. Even though they got a game in between, a day in between. I want to have my money on the Mets. Singer's on the mound. He's had a lot of rest because he just started pitching this season. So last game that he pitched was his first start. So I wanna have my money on the underdog. Nice little dog price. Take Game 1.
There you go from Jovan. Costi, talk to me.
Yeah, it's scary because I'm with you guys all the way. Somebody that's not on the show really, really, really loves the Mets. He loves the Mets. I don't know where he is today, but he loves the Mets. It's just one of those spots. Regardless, I'd rather be on the dog side here. Both teams are really hot. And usually in the playoffs, in the baseball playoffs, you could kind of feel it. If one team is really hot, they stay hot, kind of like Jays Texas Rangers did last year. I think the Mets have figured it out. I think it's going to be a good series, but if they're going to steal Game 1 with who they have on the mound, I think it's with Flaherty. I think it's going to be a close game, but I'd rather have that plus 150 in my back pocket and be able to get a W. And if I end up losing a 1-unit play, big deal. I'm losing even money. I'd rather not lose 1.5 on my money in literally a coin flip game, especially. And I like Senga in this spot too. Fresh pitcher. I think they're a little bit fresher. Dodgers are good, but I think the Mets could pull this one out.
Fair enough. Word for word, bar for bar. Nothing really for me to add from none of these guys, man. Let's go Mets. I think Alex hit the nail right on the head. I got at this number, I have to be on the plus money in these first two. Like I just have to be.
You love the Mets.
I know, but when you just everything tells me Mets. Like they've been one of the hottest teams since the All-Star break. They've been cashing that plus money all postseason. The vibes are high right now. They're a team that really is playing with house money. Teams like the Yankees and the Dodgers that have the expectations to do it, man, that pressure might get to them at a certain point. A team like the Mets that nobody thought that they would be here, just playing loose as a goose, just out there vibing. Grimace is out there, the OMG going, Hot Tua going. You know what I mean? I'm loving the Hawk Tua Grimace OMG Mets right now, man. Let's do it. I'm on the plus money, man. So
yeah,
let's do it. Last game we'll talk about, fellas. We'll talk about the WNBA Finals, Game 2. Game 1. I don't know if a lot of y'all were tuned in, man. Oh my God. It kind of just got me more excited for the NBA season coming up is what it did. Boy, that was a fucking ball game. Come right down to the wire and 1-3 to send it to overtime. Like, oh my God. Look, I'm on the Liberty in this one, fellas. I'm gonna lay the points with the Liberty back up against the wall. They already coughed up one game. They had a double-digit lead with like 2-3 minutes left to go in that game. Somehow lost. It's crazy. I do know the Lynx have been that thorn in the side of the Liberty, but I think the line is still this high for a reason. We saw them winning by this margin for most of that game in Game 1, and now having no room for error because the WNBA 5-game series, if they have no margin for error if they head to Minnesota. So this should be a lock-in spot for the Liberty. I've said all season I think they are the best team in the WNBA. I think they actually don't cough up the lead this time and win the game comfortably. I'll lay it. Alex, any thoughts for you?
Yeah, From my opinion, I have to agree with everything you said, except I don't like the line. The line is just a little bit bloated. I really believe New York will come back here, bounce back, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Lynx just keep pounding away. I mean, what's going on here? You're watching Liberty, who are much faster. I think personally, from my standpoint, more talented team. I know that will go down to argument, but what is noticeable is the physicality of Minnesota, and physicality is a big thing.
I agree.
And that's the only reason why I don't like the line. But I do like the Liberty to win, but don't like the line.
I agree, 1,000%. Them Lynx, they just be roughing up the Liberty. When the Liberty had that lead early in the game, the physicality is what changed the course of the game.
Absolutely. And that's hard. And that's hard to go against. When a team starts to, we can't say we'll have to go woman handle you, not man. So, when a team starts to overpower you like that, it becomes a little bit daunting. And I know they're going to push forward, and the Liberty will find a way just through pure talent. But man, like I said, that line bothers me a little bit.
Fair enough. Javon, what you like here in Dub?
I'm on the Liberty in this one. Bounce back spot from game one's collapse. They had the lead. They had a substantial lead, with 5 minutes remaining. I didn't actually watch the game, so I didn't know how it actually played out. But from what I know, it was all Liberty, and then it wasn't. With that said, they're the better team. I know, just like Jay said, I know that the Lynx have been a thorn in the Liberty side. But with that said, game two, you see these series, you know how it goes. When a team gets upset like that, they come back, bigger, faster, stronger, and I think that's what's going to happen in this one with the New York Liberty. I think that they get the job done, and they finish the job for game two, unlike game one. So later points.
Later point says Jovan. I read it wrong. I thought
I know you read it wrong.
I thought you said
Jacksonville.
Yeah. I was going to say, bro, get out of here, bro. What's the score? I turned the game
21-10.
21-10. It's still over. It's over.
When you just give your team a little bit of hope, just a little bit, Jay.
Moneyline Jags one more time. Anybody in with me?
Moneyline Jags live.
Second half bet. Yeah.
No, hey, listen, the spread was the way to go halftime. I mean, they're going to cover this. This is going to be another nail biter. This is how the NFL loves it. This is how it's going to be. Close game, no matter who wins. So don't expect a 3 or 4 point game depending on how, who wins.
Fair enough.
Not going to be a blowout.
Yes, sir. Costi.
Liberty for me, bounce back spot. They were double digits going into the fourth, and they just blew it late. I think they have more offensive firepower, and they don't want to go down 2-0. If they're going to win this game, they're going to win this game pretty handily. So there's a reason why the spread is what it is. I think it's going to be a 9-10 point win for them.
All right, fellas, that's everything on the board today. Well, there's some hockey and there's some NBA preseason, but we're already at an hour. If you love it, throw it in here in the parlay segment. But that's where we're heading, man. We're finna stack and try to put you on some plus money with a parlay today. Parlay. Alex, I know you do some NHL, and if you have any NHL, you can throw it in here. But do you have a parlay for us today?
Yeah, first 10 games of the season, I'm pretty shy with the NHL. I like to let everything sort of flush itself out, so to speak. And as far as today's picks go, let's see what we have since this morning, since I put some stuff in here. You know what? Let's go Bengals, Giants under, Colts is under. 2.
There you go. Yeah. Jovan, talk to me, my man.
Yeah, we're gonna go with a New York parlay, Liberty and Mets. So if you
parlay.
Yeah, right. Any of you New Yorkers want to sing that song, go ahead and sing it.
What's the New York?
Not that one. No, I mean, depends on which one you talk about. The Frank Sinatra one. How about that one?
Frank,
you got to do New York, Liberty.
Yeah.
You're going to do New York Liberty, New York Giants, New York Mets.
Oh no, I didn't say the Giants. Now I said New York, New York. That means the Liberty and the Mets. Leave them East Rutherford guys out.
Right, they're not in New York.
Yeah,
Right, that's New
right,
Jersey.
yeah.
That's New Jersey. You're right.
Fair enough. Costi.
All right, we're going to do this. This is a cut the cigar at 8:00 tonight parlay. Cut the cigar, smoke yourself a nice Bahique Cohiba, enjoy yourself. Dallas, Raiders, Titans. It is ugly. I know people don't want to hear it. Just watch. Just light that Bahique Cohiba at 8:00 tonight. Just get a nice little straight cut on there. Just relax.
I got one for y'all. We're going home dogs. There's 2 iterations of it. You can take either one of them. You could go for the, man, I'm trying to get paid today and take them all straight up on the money line, or you could just grab the points. But here it is.
Whoa, I thought that was the drum roll.
Yeah, my phone, it fell off the little bounce. I'm going to take the Saints plus the points. Saints, Spencer Rattler show at home at the crib, looking to avoid losing 4 straight. We're gonna go with the red hot Denver Broncos as a dog. They won 3 straight. Our dog at home, can they make it 4 straight? Give me the Denver Broncos, and then of course,
Who's that?
hashtag we them boys, man. Let's get it done. Take the Dallas Cowboys. 3 teams, 3 dogs, all home dogs. You can either take them outright for the win in the parlay, or you can take them with the points. I'll leave that decision in your hands, but that's what I like today on this money-making Sunday. Any final words from you fellas before we get out of here? I appreciate all y'all joining us. Let me throw y'all an NBA preseason play before we get out of here. Let me throw y'all one because I know y'all going to be bothering me.
While you're cooking it up, I'll give you the final words. RAVENS. Ravens.
There you go. There's actually 2 I kind of like in the WNBA. I mean, in the NBA today. I like the Kings laying 5.5 on the Blazers. They're gonna finally win their first preseason game today. I think the Warriors just have their number, so I'm not surprised that they're 0-2 to start preseason action. But at home today over the Blazers, who are ass. The Blazers are going to be the worst team in the NBA again this season. They are so terrible, and they are just terrible.
Could get some value lines with them though. We
probably will get some value lines with them in the regular season for sure. For sure. But today I think is a king style spot. And I'll take the Raptors. That line it was 6.5 Celtics. Now it's 1.5 Celtics. Celtics are at home against the Raptors preseason action. Like, it couldn't be more obvious for me to take the Raptors in this spot. So just that's just me line reading preseason action, giving y'all a few bets off the top of my head. And if any of y'all got anything before we get out here? All right, fellas. Well, that's going to conclude today's Sunday show. We'll be back throughout the week tomorrow. Me, Costi, Mitch, and Roof. We're going to break down all of this weekend's action. A lot happened, so we got a lot to talk about tomorrow.
Winners and losers.
So be sure to tune in for that. You can catch Alex and Jovan on the drive-through all week with Tony T. We do separate content, most of us here, so you can catch all that. We'll be back. We'll see y'all soon. Money Making Sunday. Our best bets at Pick Dogs Premium. Scoop them up. Let's make some money today. See y'all soon. We out of here.
Take care, guys.
Peace.